returning.
Bosun is not going to be here today, and we are also live. Because I saw that email. I don't know if anyone else got that.
I did not.
Um, anyway, maybe that was just sent to me.
Yeah.
Um,
I
hello,
don't know if
folks.
I. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Oh, I was just
Um,
gonna say.
yeah,
Oh, should I be quiet or we're streaming? So you should probably do our
I'll
introduction
do
before
the
I finish
intro.
my thought.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean, it's always a fun time here at the Pirate National Committee. Um, uh, uh, welcome. Uh, we are here, of course, with the Pirate National Committee, coming live to you from across the United States, and streaming another meeting for the U.S. Pirate Party. Um, we do have a quorum, so we can go ahead and get started soon. But I know, AJ, you were saying something, so
Oh,
I'll let you
I was
finish
just
that
gonna
first.
say I'm still not sure I receive every email from our main thread, but that's a tiny issue. We can sort it out
I
later.
will make a note of that, and we will sort that out because that is important, and you
Yep.
should be receiving those emails. So let's talk about that afterwards,
All right. Sounds good.
because that is you should be.
Yeah.
um, cool. Okay. Okay. So, um, let's go ahead and jump into this. Um, IDs, please. I'm gonna start in the order that I see you on screen. So, Joe, ID.
Ahoy! I am Joseph Honorowski, the United States Pirate Party Treasurer, the Massachusetts Pirate Party Treasurer, and the Massachusetts Representative. I also make fabulous bagels and amazing apple pies. So,
Oh, that sounds nice. Okay, Mitch.
Hello, I am Mitch DeVillo, the Swarm Care Manager for the United States Pirate Party, representing Chicagoland, the Illinois Pirate Party. Uh, I don't have any fun facts. I'm sorry. I just have a really nice beard. It's my whole personality.
I beg to differ on that last comment, but I agree you do have a very nice beard. Thank you, Mitch.
Thank you.
Wednesday.
I am Anthony J. I am our representative for our little Indiana Pirate Party organization effort thing that is slowly coalescing into a real party. And I am the outreach chair.
Fantastic. And James.
I'm James O'Keefe, party secretary and not representative of Massachusetts.
Okay. um, and I am Yari, also known as Rose Klein, the chair of the Pirate National Committee. And I am just a reminder to anyone watching live that if you do want to uh, put anything in the comments for us to answer later or in the live chat of this video, we will be monitoring that and take that into consideration as we're having our discussions at the very least, especially if it is relevant to the discussion at the time. So happy to take a look at that as always. So thank you for being here, and let's jump into things. First off, reports. Just going to start off, as always, with the IT committee. Oh, hey, hello. We have Ethan. Ethan, would you mind IDing, please?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
Yep.
Ethan here, Kentucky.
Okay. Thank you very much, Ethan. Um, and any report from the IT committee?
We did not meet last Thursday. We will meet this Thursday. The blog website is all set up or all updated with its patches and the like and backed up. do not have any other thing to announce beyond that.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Okay, any updates from the outreach committee?
Unfortunately, Outreach could not have a meeting on Tuesday because we could not meet a quorum of members that were, allowed to participate. Hopefully we can have another meeting this week. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we can figure something out.
Okay, thank you very much. Any updates from the platform committee?
We did briefly discuss on the last committee. Actually, I'm trying to remember exactly. I know we had a couple things that we just completely agreed on. One moment. Sorry, my memory is not serving me, but we did agree that the Earn It Act is terrible and we should be definitely against it. We also agreed that we should be switching over to actual video meetings for our meetings coming up. So hopefully I will have the proper capacity to do that. And I just have to hope that my dog stops eating my cables so that I can do that.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, and if the IT committee, or sorry, if you as the platform committee, if you need any assistance from either the IT committee or from, or more generally from myself as the chair, or from anyone else, if there's anything we can do to assist you in that shift, let us know. I think.
I appreciate that. One other thing decided really is that we want to keep it as much of a melting pot as possible and allow free course and debate. We tend to have a slightly lower partaking of it, but eventually or occasionally we come across issues that require quite a bit of back and forth, and we'll just continue to keep that part of our party open.
Okay. Cool. Thank you. Um, with that, other reports from the treasurer. Any report from the treasury?
Quite a bit going on the Treasury side, and unfortunately, that's actually what's had most of my attention. We are segmented to do a quarterly a report due every single quarter, and I'll definitely get that linked before the end of the meeting. But there's a strict schedule. This year is an election year, so the reporting gets a little bit more intense during the elections. Whether we're supporting someone or not, they have a higher volume due. That being said, I am still need to fully read and absorb all of the laws pertaining to that. Um, there was also another thing of note where we actually got royalties because somebody bought one of our T-shirts. And so we received royalties, and I'm not sure exactly how to categorize that or log it. So I will be working again with the FEC to make sure that we are following all laws and regulations.
Okay. Thank you very much, Joe.
Joe, you should, if I can interject, Joe, you should go, of course, and contact the Federal Election Commission. But considering the amount, at least last I heard, was, I believe the threshold for unitemized donations is $200. So we would need to record the name and address of the person and how much they gave, how much, in essence, they gave to us. And we'd have to record it internally, but I think it's an unitemized contribution in that case. So we wouldn't, if they give over $200 or $200 or more dollars, then they have to. But you should confirm the FEC.
I'd have to say that it's a little bit different.
Okay.
When I was talking to them, it was $63 total lifetime contributions from any individual. So there's some confusion I have with the whole process. So if that was the case with the 63, I actually have to go and talk to some of their information people, and because if that's the case, then I am way over, which doesn't make sense. How I hear Democrats donating millions of dollars or thousands of dollars and things of that nature. So I really have to dive in and figure out what's going on.
Yeah,
that.
those are usually through super PACs, which are under IRS's 529, not under the FECs. But yeah, talk with them and confirm. They would know.
Yeah, I have some digging to do, unfortunately.
Okay. Would you appreciate? I mean, I wonder. It sounds like this is quite a bit of work ahead for you, Joe, and I'm
Let's
wondering if there might be value in having some sort of assistance from a volunteer, if we can find one.
to be honest, it's doing something that I absolutely love to do, which is just study law for no particular reason. So
Mhm.
to me, it's kind of like reading a book, but
Mhm.
um, the real challenge with me is trying to find time, because whilst I'm doing all of this, I'm also acquiring a boat for the Massachusetts Pirate Party, for us to actually sail out, hopefully in the next few years. So we'll actually, as a party, have an official boat. So
Okay. I mean, because of the constraints on your time, I guess what I'm asking is, would it be to the benefit of your position as treasurer to have us search for an assistant for this, like a temporary treasury assistant position?
that I've already have deputized Mr. O'Keefe for that. But to be honest, it's
I
knowing
also
the
know that
laws.
Mr. O'Keefe has incredibly tight constraints on his time.
I understand this. I think it's paramount that the treasurer understand the treasury laws. I had every intention of linking over all of those laws so that we can all have easy access to it. And I would invite all of us to know what the regulation is for donations, because it will affect anyone wanting to run a campaign on a national level. Um, but I do see this as a primary duty of the treasurer to know through and throughout. And anyone who will come to take the position from me at a future date, uh, I would still want to know what it is in order to be of the utmost assistance to them.
Okay, I'm hearing that as a no assistance needed.
Uh, assistance is appreciated, but not necessary. I don't want to say no, because I think we all should know this, but it is my job, and I will get it done within the next
I
few
mean,
years.
I have no doubt that you're going to get it done. I'm not doubting your prowess in this. That's not what I'm asking. I'm asking whether the constraints on your time require would I
Oh, I
want you to
understand.
stay sane while you're making it happen. And if it would help you and us to have an extra person help you. This is not a question of I'm not questioning your capabilities. I'm saying sometimes it is useful to accept help in getting things done.
I appreciate you.
You know?
I appreciate you, Rose. Um, but as far as my sanity goes, that ship has sailed a long time ago.
Well, I mean, touche. Same here, really.
If
So,
I may, oh, sorry.
yeah, go
If
for
I
it, AJ.
may, I have a suggestion as to what we might be able to do to help Joe, and this is a suggestion for Joe. If you need someone to take a little bit off your plate to make sure everything's smooth sailing, have you ever considered maybe appointing some kind of, I don't know, like deputy platform committee chair to help you run that? Because you're also really busy with that a lot of the time. So would that help
That's a
you,
thought.
possibly?
Um, yeah, actually, if you would like to run it this week, I would be just tickled pink.
Unfortunately, I don't know if I would be available for Monday, but I would totally be down to try and fit it somewhere Tuesday before or after outreach. That wouldn't bother me.
We can actually run platform on multiple days about multiple issues, and I would have no problem with that whatsoever. So long as
How
we're
about
discussing new ideas, that's what that whole
yeah?
committee stands for.
Mhm. I mean, do you just want to? I can just make sure we have a few conversations this week if that would make you happy, and
It,
keep things moving along.
yes,
Okay.
that would make me very happy.
All
Thank you,
right.
sir.
I can do that for you then.
Okay. Yeah, if that'll help take things
Yeah.
off your plate so that you have some more time. I want this to be, as always, this is always a community effort to make sure that we're moving things forward and getting things done. So, and developing new ideas. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah,
Uh,
I can. I will make sure to do that. And if if it'll help Joe sort this out, then I'm more than happy to.
there are no
Um,
objections to that.
Mhm.
no, and this week I really wanted to focus on privacy and what privacy laws we would like to institute.
Mhm.
So if we can take a deep dive into the privacy issues and how
For
we
sure.
would be, how I would really push for, at least personally, I would push for the privacy of every party consent. And if one party doesn't consent, that's the type of level
Mhm.
or high privacy standards.
Mhm.
Okay. Cool. That sounds like a nice plan. Okay, let's move on. So that's treasury stuff. Um, uh, Thank you, Jamie. Um, uh, Joe, a note to check out what Jamie just sent. Um, and okay. Other reports. Anything from Swarm Care?
Yes. Ethan and I's third party 3-day summit hosted by Revolutionary Blackout has a date. So that will be the weekend of March 18th through the 20th. That is Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I'm not sure if that's a morning, evening. I'm not sure exactly how that's planned out in terms of time. I just know that those are the 3 days we'll be having it. About an hour ago, we received an email inquiring about a pirate party in Alabama. So after the meeting, I will send that person an email to inquire about their interests and see where they want to move with the party. Otherwise, there's really nothing. Pennsylvania and Kentucky are inevitable. It is not a matter of if, it's when. Oh, I'm sorry. There is one other thing. Ethan, I think you said your friends were inquiring about a pirate party in Florida. That's the only other thing that, if you want to speak on that, you may. But other than that, there's no other reports from Storm Care.
Ethan, you
Yeah,
have the floor if you'd like.
yeah, sure. So, I've been juggling a lot of stuff, trying to get as much as I can done. It's been overwhelming, but so my friend that's developing my website, which is going to be done soon, and I can't wait because it's going to be sick. Um, he lives in Florida. He's the guy I was talking about that might be interested in starting something in Florida. I actually know 3 guys in Florida, and they're all it's pretty crazy. It's just like the campaign thing is just all like falling into place now. Like I have like a team that's just like forming out of nothing, and they're all different skills sets and everything. But the guy that's developing the website, he's a great artist. I mean, he's a professional artist, and I'm lucky to have him do this for me. I'm paying him, but I'm compensating him to help me, which I have to because he's a great artist. But he's interested in starting a pirate party in Florida. And he's got 2, 3 friends that probably would be down. I've had an unofficial Kentucky pirate party meeting here. Still trying to figure out a play. There's a few different spots. We do them. We're going to do them in person. And so, and as far as the website, so I've got 2 domain names that are parked that I purchased to park in my friends already has a HostGator site that he's got all the framework for. So I bought the domain names for my campaign sites and then send them to his framework so he can do it all. And I was planning on doing the same thing with the Kentucky Pirate Party website. So what I'll do is I'll get a separate domain for the Kentucky Pirate Party site and then just send it to his HostGator site so he can build that too. So he'll build the Kentucky Pirate Party site too. And then also I have oz2020.us, which is my main campaign site. And then I have oz2020.org, which is a WordPress site, which my friend's not familiar with WordPress, so I was trying to find someone else to help with that. But the WordPress site will be articles that anyone can contribute to in a pirate party and just anyone that has an article that we can all agree that we approve on can go on that site. So the WordPress site can be the article site, and then we'll have a Kentucky Pirate Party site too, and Twitter or something. I only have Twitter right now. I hate Facebook. I absolutely despise it. I just don't like it at all. I'm going to start one for everything, but right now I just got to focus. I'm sorry to take up the time, but the walls are kind of closing in on me because I have some school that I have to finish, a 40-hour certification that I'm working on for this firefighting thing. And then in April, I have to go to Oregon for field training. So I want everything done before then. So yeah, so that's what I'm working on. So I'm off work tomorrow. I'm going to try to hammer out the rest of these signatures and I've got a couple people that I've lined up to pay to help finally. So hopefully I'll get everything done this week. So I'm hoping by next week, the next meeting, I'll be able to launch everything and we can move forward with that.
Cool. Thank you.
You
Joe,
rock.
You're on sec.
Keep going, dude.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
Joe, you're on sec.
man, I gotta say, honestly, like I have some mental health issues that I deal with that I finally got the proper meds for, and so like last week I was kind of melting down because I did that, when I had that speech I had to do, like it was my first speech. I've never given any kind of political speech before, and I just went and just like did it, and I was freaking out about it, and I couldn't sleep, so I stayed up all night, and then I went and did it, and the whole thing was just crazy. Yeah. Like I don't want to eat up the time of the meeting. We could talk some other time about it, but it was crazy. Crazy.
But you did great. I'm sure you did. Thank you.
I feel like they purposely lost the footage. I don't. I should have. I should have made a point to record it myself. I turned my phone off because I was nervous. I didn't want to get interrupted.
It's all right. You did great.
But the DSA, they were recording it, and then they won't give it to me. And they got the DSA because I was there because I'm a member of the DSA too here, and I announced myself as a pirate also and a DSA, and they were mad about that, which is stupid. That's just so stupid. There's 3 other groups there. Why can't a pirate be there represented? So they didn't like that. I thought that was lame. But okay, I'll stop there.
Joe?
Yeah, I just wanted to say, Ethan, I promised that I would give you a hand if you're feeling overwhelmed. Just like everyone else here said, hey, Joe, you're getting overwhelmed. We're going to help you. I'm here to help you. I'll make sure by the end of tonight you have my number, that if you want to call me, or even if it's just to talk to. But something I do have to tell you is if you feel outside your comfort zone, that's because it's new. And it being new, it's going to feel uncomfortable. If it didn't feel uncomfortable, then you're doing something wrong. But once you get the practice under your belt and you're doing it over and over again, it'll start to get natural, and you'll start building that confidence, and you'll get there before you know it. It's only through practice that we get better. So
yeah, and then also too, once I get all my stuff done and launched, and once I'm on the ballot, then I can focus on helping both of you too. You're running in Pennsylvania, right?
No, I'm Massachusetts.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry, I had you confused. But Mitch, you're running in Illinois, correct?
That is correct.
But you don't live in Illinois, right?
No, I do live in Illinois.
I thought there was some. I thought there was
I
some.
live a block away from the district that I'm running in. I got grouped into a lesser district, so I'm running in the better one.
Okay, I thought there was something going on where they had some deal where people that didn't live in the district could run there, and there were.
Oh,
I know.
Illinois has a law that says you don't have to live in the district that you are running in, which I didn't know when I announced my
Oh,
campaign.
okay, that's
But
what it was.
found
Because
out
that's
when
what's
Marie Newman pulled the old switcheroo on us, and I said, "Well, she can, I can."
right. Because that's what's going on with Dr. Oz. No, see, because people are going to confuse my website with his, and he's got. I swear, I think he's got oz22.com parked. He's sitting. I swear, I think he's sitting on it because I tried to get that too, and someone's sitting on it. Someone's got it parked, but hopefully, maybe we can just. Maybe I'll just accidentally get some of his traffic for whatever he's doing. He's a jackass. I'm sorry, Doctor.
Maybe you're so right.
He lives in New Jersey, but he's running for Pennsylvania. The same deal, same type deal as out of district, But okay, I'll stop blabbering. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Let's. Thank you, though. We appreciate your work. And I'm glad that you're building everything and you got a team behind you. It's good that you have a community working on it. Okay. Any other reports? Okay, let's move on to old business, which is just for today, the ratification of the Pirate Party International statutes.
If I may.
So, yeah.
Just a small point. We need to elect a new representative, seeing that the previous representative that we elected is no longer with the party.
That's for the state to decide. That's not for us to decide. If I can just interject. So let's let them figure out what they're going to do.
I think that was a reference to the Pirate Party International representative.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're correct. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And point of information, I don't think since we have decided to become a member of PPI, we did not elect, as far as I'm aware, a representative to PPI.
Yeah, I don't believe it was official yet, so I don't think it's technically an issue yet.
That I can recall, it was just acknowledged that Meg had a connection with PPI.
But then that was my misunderstanding.
Yeah. So.
But yes, if we do, then we will. But yeah.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we have to become a member first.
Yeah.
So first step of that is ratifying the statutes. I will go ahead and put the link to that in the Jitsi chat for you all, just for the reference. Oop, that's not the link. I'm so sorry. That is the stream key. There you go. That's the link. A little embarrassing. Okay. There we go. Those are the statutes of the Pirate Party International, the International Pirate Parties, the Pirate Parties International. Just to like sort of an overview of it. I mean, I think we should ratify it. It's part of the process of joining, sort of a natural consequence of that. This does generally, the statutes here include their definitions of membership and their definitions of how that membership works in terms of how it ends and how it begins and what that membership means. So you know, all sorts of stuff like that. AJ, you're on start.
Having already read over this before, and with the fact that we have already moved to decide to join, I am going to go ahead and move that we ratify the bylaws.
Okay, it's been moved.
I shall second the motion.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate on the motion?
One quick point of discussion. These bylaws on the international level have not changed in years, have they?
That's a good question. There are amendments. The most recent, the list of amendments is at the top of the Wikipedia page for that. And the most recent amendment is on May of 2020. So you should be able to see
Yeah.
that right at the top of it.
Yeah, so to my point, these haven't changed since for many, many years now. So I'm guessing that we all pretty well know what they are. Um, and if any of us have read them of recently, I definitely think that it kind of goes with no brainer that we should go for them.
Is there any further discussion or debate on the motion? Hearing no further discussion or debate, we move to voting. Ethan, your request is acknowledged. Thank you very much. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Can we define what in favor is, just so I can write it down for the notes?
Yes, thank you very much. In favor in this case of passing the motion to ratify the Pirate Party International statutes. Any opposed, please say nay. As far as I heard, those were 3 ayes and 0 nays, which means that the motion is passed unanimously. Okay, thank you very much. So this body has ratified the Pirate Party International statutes, and we can thus move on with submitting a formal application to the International Pirate Party for membership. I will ask, I had sort of assumed, since the application process is pretty easy, I had sort of gone ahead and started putting together the required materials for the application myself, and I can go ahead and submit that. If there's any objections to that, or if the PNC would like to pick specific people for that, I'm happy to hear a motion for that.
I motion to have Yari present the documents as required.
And I second said motion.
Okay. Is there any discussion or debate on the motion?
None here.
Hearing no discussion or debate on the motion to have me present the materials of application to the PPI as required, we can move to a vote. All in favor, please say aye.
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 Okay. That is a unanimous vote. I will go ahead and do so.
Okay.
Ethan, I want to acknowledge that you had asked for a moment of time before the meeting is over. I believe that is all we had in terms of old business, other than that's all we had in terms of at least old business. So I want to give you a moment of time, Ethan.
Y'all can go first.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I saw AJ's hand first on stack, and then Joe.
I know there was a motion that Mitch wanted to bring up. We can do it at any time, but I do want to make sure that we get through this before the end of the meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So we have. I think we've moved on from old business, so we can move into new business. So I'll say, Mitch, if you want to go ahead on stack, and Joe can go first, and then you can introduce your motion. Joe.
I would like to say that there is a bit of old business, one which we lost a very long-term member, and that I don't want to let that loss go unnoticed. And this was over the Youth Pirates, and something that it was a great loss for us to lose Meg, and for her not to want to be a part of this anymore. I do not want to let such a thing go down lightly, and would like to continue and make sure that what she was fighting for and the thing that she was frustrated for, actually still gets done.
Mm-hmm. And which actually pertains to the motion I wanted to move forward with. So with the Young Pirates, I motion to amend the current stature of the Young Pirates, stating that they need a guardian with all meetings, simply to amend that to platform and IT to allow the Young Pirates to participate in outreach meetings accordingly. I think that the Young Pirates have a opportunity to work with us, but without it interfering with adult business. And I feel as though outreach is one of these committees that they can participate and shoot over ideas without it ever directly interfering with United States Pirate Party business. After last meeting where we tried implementing the rules saying that, if you're under 18, you need a chaperone or a guardian, whatever we said, but you need a monitor. We didn't have quorum. And I know that could be a one-off for the last meeting, but I do think it would be a healthy committee if we have at least one where youth and adult pirates can at least communicate on a certain level. And I do believe outreach is the least harmful committee for that to happen.
Mitch, I do want to ask, could you maybe put that in more of a motion-y
I
terms?
started
Yeah.
with the words "I motion" and then I went on my tangent. I motion to amend the Youth Pirates to allow outreach to continue as a joint Youth Pirate USPP venture. Is that how I want to word it?
I think what I'm essentially hearing is
we keep platform and IT with, if you're under 18, you still need someone to be with you, but outreach being a platform
essentially
or a committee for.
Essentially, what I'm hearing, for the sake of writing something down, what I'm hearing is that you're moving the outreach be an exception to that the outreach committee be allowed to be an exception to the current under 18 rule.
Yes, for that is a sufficient wording of said motion.
If I may,
Yeah.
have a question.
Mhm.
Do we have a specific place for the Youth Pirates to go, like a spot on the Discord, or a specific platform for which they can interact with each other?
I don't think we do.
We do not yet, no.
Point of
And was that
information. No, we don't. Not yet. No, that's an important question.
Is that part of the plan?
I believe it is. It's something that I think a lot of us would like to see.
And how would we even begin to enforce something like that? Whereas we're like, oh, you're over 18. Nope.
Well, if I may, we could create roles in the Discord when we already have them saying what is your age, and a lot of them are saying 18, they're saying 35, they're saying under 17. Once we see their age, we could assign them the role young pirate or college pirate or USPP member, or however we want to assign set roles. And then you could make the committees role specific. So you could only enter the committee or communicate in said committee if you have said role.
I will note part of the way that this has been solved in other organizations is by having the membership that is able to vote and in these discussions be the ones who are dues paying members. And that is and the having that dues paying membership barrier also have some sort of filter in it applied to age in some way. That's my understanding of how the Australia Pirates do it. Jamie?
I mean, the problem is we don't have that structure within our organization, right? States are the only members according to our bylaws.
Mm-hmm. That's correct. AJ?
If I may, if we have concerns about, now us needing to keep track of who is under and over 18, because that is important no matter what, I really do think the easiest fix would just be to, like Mitch said, since we're now asking for age, just tag everyone who's under 18 with this role so we can keep track of that, so we know, when someone is in a place they aren't supposed to be. I mean, that just seems like the simplest explanation, right?
Of note, practically speaking, tagging people who are under 18 is something that has not been done yet and is actually just sort of an extension of the rule that was made, the motion that was passed at the meeting 2 weeks ago. So it is something that has just not been implemented yet.
Okay, so
but it is something that if in order to it is not an explicit requirement of that rule, but it is sort of an implicit requirement of that rule, because in order to apply that rule in any effective sense,
okay, so we can, I'm hearing that's something that, the administrative team of the Discord wants to go ahead and make sure that we do. If that's the case, I'm not. I think Joe's the one that brought this up. Does that sort of solve the question that you were trying to get at then?
See.
Okay.
I have a question, which is, I like the idea of a place where the youth pirates and those more financially culpable and thoroughly involved with the pirate party are able to communicate and discuss their concerns. I am curious why that needs to be outreach specifically.
I do think that outreach is the least harmful committee for this to take place. I think the initial reasoning to have this rule of youth pirates need a chaperone was due to the youth pirates' involvement in platform. So by allowing outreach to be the exception to the rule, I think that we are given such a committee we've already established is going to be taking place in a more swarm-wise manner. I think that it's the best opportunity, especially when we're talking about outreach, where we're talking about getting the name of the pirate party out there. IT and computers, that's a big boy job. We're talking about platform, that's a big boy job. when we're talking about outreach and getting the name of the Pirates out there, I actually think the youth Pirates are going to hold a very valuable place in that. And I would like to hear what youth Pirates have to say about our image and what they have to say about what we present ourselves as. And I think that that's still allowing them to communicate with us on that level without giving them essentially the power to alter the United States Pirate Party without that filter in between.
AJ?
To put it a little bit more directly, it is just the case that most of the volunteers that we have in the outreach committee are younger. A lot of them are under 18, and I personally have no problem with that. I do, like Mitch said, I think it's a good place for them to really get into it without having the ability to affect anything really, really important. And honestly, it's been a formula that has worked. There are people that show up to outreach meetings that don't really show up to anything else, but they get involved with outreach, and I think that's great. And that's really, what we've been able to have in the outreach committee over the past few weeks, maybe past few months, is if we don't figure something out, sort of this dual solution for ensuring that youth pirates don't have access to things they maybe aren't responsible enough to handle, but can still be part of things like outreach. If we don't figure that out, I don't know if outreach will be able to continue to be as productive as it has been.
Joe?
So, as far as the whole incident which sparked this all, I still don't know the full details of what happened, and seeing that the rest of this council is saying that it's probably a bad idea to have youth people on the platform committee, I'm starting to question what exactly happened, and I was hoping somebody, if not now, could at least clue me in, seeing that it seems to have some hesitation with people being able to discuss ideas openly, especially when it comes to who we are on a platform level.
Yeah, I don't, depending on the depth of that conversation and partially in terms of time and partially in terms of not wanting to rehash that right now, I'm happy to have that conversation with you over the phone. Absolutely. But I agree that is there is some context there for sure. I think the gist of it is that the conversations that were happening the conversations that were happening on the platform committee channel specifically, but also like more broadly, the conversations that were happening on the platform committee channel, but more broadly in the server, had been problematic in a variety of ways due to some particular actors, and there was a couple flare-ups that were specifically really frustrating, to say the least. So I don't know. I don't know if I want to.
I appreciate that. I was specifically told by both yourself and others that it wasn't something that I had directly done or that it had specifically to do with platform, but having it mentioned directly here now, it just makes me really want to know what actually happened. I generally try to, if it doesn't involve me, it doesn't involve what we're trying to do for the party. I have a laissez-faire way about it, but now my curiosity has is now getting the better of me. So I'd appreciate that conversation.
I do not know who raised their hand first. I'm gonna go with Mitch.
Thank you. Again, I don't want to, for the sake of privacy of others, as you said, Rose, I don't want to go into too much detail about what had happened or what had caused it. But there was particular vitriol over more conservative participants in the platform meeting, and I do believe that the fact that they were children was what was the sour note, which is what brought up this whole ordeal to begin with. The fact that they were too young to understand, so to speak.
If I may retort to that. So my retort to it is that we attract people from every political walk of life, whether they're young or old. I know the younger generation seems to be leaning towards a more conservative, but we also, as a pirates, tend to be very much the melting pot of the political system, and hence the necessary mechanism of the way in which am planning on trying to structure the that. Um, and even though I don't want feelings to be hurt, um, it's going to be a difficult mechanic to both keep people safe and that, which is why this whole youth pirate thing came about, from my understanding. Um, and I don't see an easy fix to keeping both an open debate of ideas and it being that we need to stay respectful of each other, but I would like to see the ideas fighting each other versus the people.
Mm-hmm.
AJ?
I just, for personal note, Joe, I didn't want to like accidentally insinuate that like you or platform were really directly involved. I apologize. You were not, to my understanding, you personally and like your committee and how you run it wasn't necessarily involved. I just want to make that clear.
No, yes, you may
Yeah.
waive yourself of any guilt
Yeah.
or wrongdoing. So this has nothing to do with
Yeah.
you, but you were running platform.
Well, I mean, I am lawful evil, so getting out of the guilt is not a thing, but I'm okay with it.
I do think there, there's something to be said here for all of us of I recently I'm working on reading up on this myself, about creating space for having not just like safe spaces, but brave spaces, having difficult conversations and creating the structures to 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 face those difficult conversations, because as a political party we are going to engage with difficult conversations, and understanding that we are going to engage with those difficult conversations, but also understanding that we should be confronting our own biases, and not cowering from them, that we should be doing research to think about our own potentially flawed systems of thinking, and engaging with that constantly, and that we should always be striving to use sort of a scientific and research backed method to get to the best and most more rational result for the people. So I think this is in some ways related to that. But I think that's something that we can all work on. I don't think that's like a individual mandate. Joe?
I just want to say, yeah, I like the idea of the brave spaces, but essentially, I think the platform committee is serving that role, whether we like it or not. Um, and I want to continue making sure that we can have those difficult conversations. Um, so I appreciate you. In terms of biases, um, Again, I definitely agree that we all do have our biases. But that being said, if we can work beyond them to make sure the law and the laws that we create and the bylaws we create are as fair and just to all, that's what really is going to matter.
Right. I think okay, so this to get back to the motion at hand, because I have dragged this off track. We've all dragged this off track, but I've helped drag it off track. Oops. Mitch, you had proposed something, which is that the outreach committee be that. Although we never got a second on that, so we don't actually have to go into discussion on that. But if
I
anyone,
will second it.
There it is.
okay, there, it's been seconded. So now we move into technical discussion. I will note that we have 3 minutes left. I will voice my can I proposition an alternative? I'm gonna abuse my position as chair and proposition an alternative. Might there be an alternative space to the committees for this? I agree that outreach has been a place for this to happen. I understand. I hear that. I guess I'm just wondering if there might be an alternative space. AJ.
If I may, let me turn my camera back on. Outreach, I think we've talked about this before. The outreach committee is really becoming less and less of a traditional committee, by the day, and more of, just a fluid kind of working co-op for people to pitch ideas and for us to work on things and for people to intermingle. So while I hear that, yeah, maybe there's something other than a committee, I feel like the outreach committee as an entity is probably heading that direction anyway.
If that's the case,
If I may,
Joe.
how about we don't put the outreach committee as a specific space for the youth. We still create the space, a youth space, and then it sounds like to me that the outreach committee is being successful in their mission, and just let the outreach committee continue to do it, allow for the youth pirates to be a part of that, because they are our future, and then still create the space for youth pirates. I motion to create a space for youth pirates and allow the outreach committee to do what it's been doing, which is successfully working on creating outreach.
Joe, you're so smart and handsome. That's so much better than my wording. I second that motion.
Okay. So to clarify, to clarify, since we do have 1 minute left, to create a space on the Discord, I'm presuming, for youth pirates, Joe?
And the wiki.
Ooh, and the wiki.
And the wiki.
And the wiki.
Okay, that's doable, but interesting. Sure. So to create a space on the Discord and wiki for youth pirates, and to allow outreach to continue as a space in which the folks under 18 are participating without chaperones. It's Jitsi that cut out.
Live streaming is on.
Yeah, that was weird. Hi, folks. Sorry about that interruption.
I take it live streaming's or Stream Machine's a bot.
Stream Machine is me, but it's a bot that is actually me. Okay. Hang on. I'm just looking at YouTube and double checking that is working. Yes, it is. Okay, so we are live again. So sorry, folks, about that interruption. So yes, we are not adjourned until we make a motion to adjourn and second it and then vote on it. Okay, so the motion, Mitch, it sounded like you dropped your motion.
Yes, I will drop my motion in favor of Joe's motion.
Okay, so the motion on the table is Joe's motion, which has been seconded by Mitch, which is to make a space on the wiki and the Discord for the youth pirates, and to allow the outreach committee to continue allowing those under 18 to participate without a chaperone in committee meetings. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Jamie, do you have all that? And does that make sense? Yep, waiting. Thank you very much.
I do have that. As IT person, I'm not sure we can create a separate space for the wiki for youth.
What I had in mind was just a sublog of a place for them to load up what they decide. So once they get going, like from like their meeting notes, etc., or what it is to be youth pirates, etc., like their
Okay.
own. Nothing crazy. Just a spot to a subsection.
Nothing like they can't edit. They can only edit these set of pages, but merely create. Here's the section for youth pirates, and and they're not limited to just editing that, but it exists. Okay, fine.
See.
Okay. It has been properly moved and seconded. Can we have any discussion or debate on this? AJ, you had yes, sorry. Yes, AJ, go for it.
I would like to amend to make it a little bit more clear, I guess, general.
Okay.
That we are setting out to create, as the PNC is setting out to create a separate, sort of subgroup for the young pirates, and plus, everything about the outreach committee. That way we don't have to worry about it being specifically, it'll be Discord this way, it'll be Wiki this way, just that we are setting out to create a specific subspace for the youth pirates.
I'm not sure if that cleared anything up.
If that's not clear enough, that's okay. We can go with the other one. Especially since we should probably adjourn. So, you know what? I retract my motion. Let's pass this one.
I think it's implied.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's
if
implied.
no other comment, we should vote and get out of here.
Is there further discussion or debate on the motion? I will continue to voice my somewhat skepticism of having them involved directly in outreach, but if outreach is shifting to a more co-op, as you say, AJ, model of just a workspace, then I think that might be workable. Is there any further discussion or debate on the motion? Hearing none, we move to voting. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 All those opposed, please say nay. The
Aye.
vote is unanimous, and it passes.
I motion to adjourn.
I would like to
Second.
hear what Ethan had to say. Ethan, you did say you wanted to speak once business is over. I don't know if you wanted to speak during the meeting time or not.
Would it be possible for us to maybe do it afterward? Because I'm so sorry. I have a 10 o'clock newscast to go help produce.
Okay.
Yeah, all good. Go for it. I just had a quick question for someone who can answer. Don't worry about me, man. No, you're working, man.
It has been properly moved and seconded that we adjourn, and that means I have to move to a vote. So all those in favor of adjournment, please say aye.
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 Okay. That is 3 ayes and 0 nays for adjournment, this meeting of the Pirate National Committee is officially adjourned at 10:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you all very much for attending, and thank you to you viewers at home for watching. We appreciate your presence. Please check us out at uspirates.org. And support your local pirate efforts. There's lots of them happening, gathering up and getting contingents and different groups. So feel free to contact us if you would like help with that, as you may have seen in this very video. Again, check us out at uspirates.org. Vote pirate, and we will see you in the next one. Have a good night, folks.
Ethan,
That's the end of the stream.
Ethan, I will reach out to